Well, after Rick Scott proved to be the big sellout that I always knew he was, recently, now I just put a video out about Florida Yankee go home and all what are my honest sentiments about Florida, and this is before I saw, and I don't even know if Rick Scott signed into this bill about all these draconian laws about guns and stuff over the Parkland thing. Now, first off, I didn't like this guy anyway, period, at all. And he's one of the biggest crooks in the freaking universe. I mean, for crying out loud. I mean, he makes Chucky Schumer look like a nice guy. I mean, Bloomberg or something. You know, the more liberal Democrats. I don't even know why. You know, it's a joke that they call somebody a Republican or a Democrat. They're all about money. And tell you the truth, after this garbage with Rick Scott, this is the last time I'm voting. Period. I'm not going to vote for anybody. I'm not going to take part in the process. I don't believe in anything the government does or says or anything. And I'm going to avoid, I'm going to deal person to person on as much stuff as I possibly can and just forget about dealing with anything that would feed the government any kind of money. But I'll take something from the government if they give it to me. Fine, thank you. I don't care. You know, I mean, I don't take nothing from the government anyway. I mean, in Florida, they got like 3 million people out of 20 million people on food assistance. I'm not on any of that garbage. And there's all kinds of stuff like that going on. Now, with Rick Scott, you know, I put out other videos like with hospice and also the medical system. See, where Rick Scott is a big-time crook is the Columbine Hospital Corporation of America. He was the CEO of it. They got caught up in the largest Medicare Medicaid fraud in U.S. history, over $1 billion. But he got away scot-free, as in Rick Scott, because he was protected under the veil of the corporation. Even though he was the CEO, he would not be held personally accountable for all the stuff that was going on, although, obviously, even the board, the people on the board, voted him out, and he was forced to retire. But he got like, I think I forgot what it was, $275 million in stocks, and he got his retirement. Then he went to Florida and spent like $75 million of his own money so he could be elected governor, which, you know, he's going to get a big return on that investment, which he already has. He's a crook and a half. Now, I have another channel out there called American Russian Survival. And I just put some little stuff out there. It's kind of like a hodgepodge of different things, mostly like MacGyver DIY stuff. But to tell you the truth, you know, I would like to see the United States and Russia, or at least the real American people, get together with the real Russian people. And if Vlad freaking wipes out the freaking elite in this country, fine by me. I don't care because I'm more than fed up with them now. You know, I know Trump is a big sales pitch BS artist, but what are you going to do? Vote for Hillary? You know, like if you push the wind enough way, the sales and all these politicians in the United States are going to just grab that wind and go with it. And that's why, you know, on YouTube, they're not allowing any kind of, you know, dissenting voices against what the major media is doing, or to say anything about. I know there's a lot of weird shit out on YouTube where people are saying there's a flat Earth theory. Oh man, that's another great one. And I don't know, whatever. There's other crazy theories out there, and you know, there's people out there that even tell you that these shootings are 100% fake. There's people that say this garbage. They're freaking idiots. I mean, no, the people got killed, but you know, I say they're augmented with professionals, and they're every single one of these whack jobs that did this stuff. They had psychotropic drugs, but they don't hold the psych profession accountable for that garbage. And there's a lot of other stuff and angles behind it because, you know, the guys behind the scenes, there's a major push for gun control, like the Nazis doing. It's like the night of the broken glass. You know, they need these events, just like when they had John F. Kennedy was shot. That helped the New Jersey law through in 1966. How many more presidents need to be shot by a lone gunman? We need controls. And then later on, it comes out, hey, it wasn't a lone gunman. It wasn't even, you know, Trump released those files, right? It wasn't Lee Harvey Oswald. Now, maybe 50 years from now, you know, if Russia gets rid of all these jerks and that are covering all this garbage up, the truth might come out, say, hey, look, these were set up events, not fake, but they were made to happen, And, Rick Scott's a very intelligent guy. He's got no hair on his head. Maybe that makes him smarter. I don't know, it makes him look smarter. He is not stupid. Now, all these politicians, they know what's going on better than the average person that can see the light. These guys know it, but they're sellouts. And, to tell you the truth, remember when they had 911? Oh, this guy, Pence. Oh, I can't stand this guy, man. He's a yo-yo. Remember when they had 911? Now, I found out later. I knew my grandfather was from South Carolina. I heard some garbage that my ancestors fought in the Confederacy. But, hey, I always regarded myself as half Italian. I didn't really think too much about this other stuff. But, I kind of like this. I'm kind of taking up the ball for the Confederacy now, But I really didn't, give a crap too much about this other stuff I've been talking about recently over the last couple of years. But, I decided to take up the ball for the cause, right? But way back when, in 2001, on September 11th, when that happened, it wasn't because, I hated Yankees or anything like that. I hate phony sellout professionals. When that building got hit, those buildings got hit and they fell down, I didn't even care. Tell you the truth, I was like, man, good. So what? Like Georgie Bush, his daddy was all part of that, This guy, I can't stand him. I can't stand his brother, Jeb. He was a governor of Florida. Why the hell did I even come down here, man? Now I'm regretting coming down here, tell you the truth. I should have went down. I was thinking of going to South Carolina. Where my family originally was from. I should have went there. Right now, I got my stuff up in Tennessee. I'm hopefully going to get something up in North Georgia. I'm getting the hell out of here, man. But I'm never going to vote again. Done. I'm done. I will not vote until I get the hell out of Florida. I don't care who the hell, because the counties are corrupt, the state's corrupt, and obviously Washington, D.C.'s corrupt. It's ridiculous. Forget it. Why should I partake in that garbage system? This guy, he's supposed to be, what the heck is a conservative? Conservative? What the hell are you? These guys are all crooks, all of them. The Republicans are crooks, the Democrats are crooks. They're all screwed up. I don't care about any of them. They need to be having their headquarters in this building. That's why, like I said, when this building came down, I remember me and my boss was watching it, and I was like, I didn't even give a damn. I'm like, yeah, that's nice. I don't want to say what he said, man. It was kind of funny. Because he doesn't like some stuff in the government. He was kind of hoping this one government agency was in there. That's what he said. But, I didn't even care. I didn't care because these are a bunch of phony freaking high and mighty, too big and blind. Oh, a plane hit you. Oh, well. Yeah, that's how I felt about it, really. And that's not because, I didn't like Yankees at that time or anything. I wasn't even thinking that way, I can't stand the phony. I never could stand the phony garbage that was up north. I never could stand it. Never liked it. I like the hardcore nuts and bolts business type stuff. People that are intelligent and aggressive, fine. Phonies, I hate them. Always hated them. And, the more titles and more freaking la-di-da they are, the more I can't stand them. That's just how it always was, That's what I don't like this World Trade Center. So, but, I look at Rick Scott. He's a piece of garbage, But the thing is, what do you do? Vote for a Democrat? Is it blatant worst, maybe? I'm not voting for anybody. I'm done. I'm not voting for nobody. I'm freaking finished. This guy, I don't give a damn, anything you freaking sign into law, I don't care what it is. Forget it. I ain't going to bother with anything you do. You're garbage. And Vlad, I don't call him Mr. Sainthood. I know this. But, I got more respect for this guy than a lot of politicians over here on this side of the freaking world. I can tell you that right now. I know this guy is not like what these people that worship him think he's about, but he's got a brain, He's got a brain. He's got, it's probably getting to the point where Russia's probably going to have more freaking freedoms than the United States. That's how screwed up it is. And actually, probably for the future, that other side of the world, Russia and China, is more than likely going to be the stronger nations than the United States. The United States is on the way out, man. And I could see why, because American people are folding up like a bunch of freaking, I don't know, dominoes. That's what they do. And they're too afraid to freaking stick their neck out. They're all like, they always got the other thing I like about Putin. I know he plays the religious card. It's BS. I don't believe in no savior that somebody's going to come back and save the whole freaking planet. Keep dreaming. You know what that is? That's so people have a glimmer of hope, so they don't freaking say, our backs are to the wall. It's fight or die. We have a little says, we got a glimmer of hope. Jesus will come and save everything. And I got everlasting life. Yeah, sure you do. And Putin doesn't believe in that stuff. I guarantee. He believes in something. He believes in some kind of honor and righteousness. Maybe he's more on a page of what I think. I don't know. But the bottom line is that, one of the things that actually keeps people from resisting this garbage is the religious element. The religion is designed to keep you in line. It's like, the Lord says this, and fine, great. You know what? Fine, good. But that's why you don't do nothing. Because if you use a little common sense and you use your intellect, you find out, hey, they're screwing you over. Get them back. The way I'm doing it is first off, maybe you say, you should participate in your government. The government is at least 10 times bigger than it needs to be. It's ridiculous. I don't need these jerks collecting money to argue back and forth of what my rights are and all this kind of garbage. I don't need them. They're garbage. They're a bunch of fee-collecting yo-yos, man. And the military's garbage, too. The agencies are garbage. Everything's garbage. The whole thing is garbage. It's crap. Who the hell needs it? Back in even in the 1930s when we had the Great Depression, I know which was caused, but they didn't have a fence around the White House. God, people used to go right in the White House all the time. There's no the president wasn't that strong. Now we have this attitude where we had, Trump was telling us all this wonderful stuff, right? Which I was like, man, maybe I think he's semi-legit, okay? He's more legit than I thought he was. But the deal is, people are like taking all their impetus and saying, we got to put it in this strong leader in the government that he's going to fix everything. How about just get rid of these jerks, man? We don't need any of those jerks. Fix it yourself. That's called taking responsibility for your own problems. Fix your own garbage. You find a way. You find a way. I get sometimes these millennials on YouTube saying, well, nobody ever taught me how to do this. Somebody must have taught you. Nobody taught me. I freaking learned, man. I learned on my own. Trial and error. Usually when I'm fixing something, I'm cussing my butt off. I'm like, I'm pissed off, man. I don't do that on the freaking video, but usually when I'm fixing something, when I'm not filming, I'm cussing something out. I'm like, I'm getting pissed off, man. But that usually gives me the impetus to get it done. You find out a way. You keep striving. You get it done. We don't need the government. The government doesn't fix nothing. This guy's a jerk, man. Rick Scott. And he knows what's going on. At the minimum, this guy, the sheriff down there in Parkland, he's corrupt as all hell. They were doing, what the hell were they doing? They were deliberately not making arrests on crimes to keep the crime rate low so they get more state and federal money. And, of course, that led to this kid doing this stuff, which was other things involved, psych drugs. And, of course, it was probably augmented by another shooter, But, that's besides the point. But what the point is, this guy, as soon as the wind blows a little bit, he gets up his sails and he goes, I'll go in that direction. So he's worthless. He's worthless. And he damn well knows what's going on. He knows this. But he figures he's like a magnet to money, and it's anybody with a lot of money. That's why I don't really trust Trump too much, because you could turn him pretty easy, man. He's a magnet for money. I don't, if If he's really tried and true blue, I think he's going to lose all his money. I'll guarantee you that. If he's legit, he's going to lose all his money. I don't know how legit he is. I think he's semi-legit. Rick Scott, forget it, man. And Marco Bubbles Rubio, forget him. You know what I mean about Bubbles with the bubble party and stuff. You know, forget about these guys. This is the Republicans. Democrats are garbage. The Republicans are garbage. So I'm not voting anymore. I'm done. I'm done. And I tell you, I put that other video out, which is a little yellow thing about their request review. I mean, I'm not even going to request a review. I mean, the hell with it. About Florida, my sentiments on Florida Yankee go home. Hey, I tell you the truth, man. I think Florida's freaking sunk, man. I can see what's going on. The more of these jackasses that are coming down to Florida, like California used to be freaking great in the 60s. In the 60s. Freaking fantastic. Actually, the state itself is freaking beautiful. You know? They just got certain people came in there that got in all the financial power. They got all the political power, and they screwed it all up, man. California was... I remember when I went to California, they didn't have the motorcycle helmet law. I was like, wow. And, people were saying, there's going to be nobody's going to obey that law. Oh, yeah, they obeyed it. They obeyed it. As soon as they made that law, the helmets went on their freaking grape, and they were done. But it was cool, back then. Like, Florida, actually, I was surprised. Florida got rid of the motorcycle helmet law. Now, this guy, you see, when you got the Republicans that are this bad, see, this is guaranteeing that the next governor is not going to be a Republican just because of this guy. Just because this jerk got in there. See that? And, the way I'm looking at it is, maybe, I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe some problem is going to happen in Florida where they go broke. Maybe that'll be the cure. And that, I'm hoping I'm not going to be around here because I'm freaking through with this place. This place actually reminds me of what's going on. What's going on in Florida is kind of like what happened to California. California was fantastic. I think Florida was fantastic probably, maybe in the 80s. If you're talking if you're going, North Central, right? But North Central's got infected with all these retirees coming down there and thinking they're a bunch of millionaires playing golf and all this garbage. And, of course, Rick Scott's all involved in the Medicare, Medicaid, hospice. These guys, when you go retire to Florida, man, you're basically on a trip to an old age abortion. You're going to get aborted by the medical system down here. The best thing for health down in Florida is the sunshine itself. This one old guy, I forgot his name. He's like 87. You know what he does every day? He lays out in the sun all day for like a couple hours. That's all he does. He doesn't have no medications. He's in great shape. Feels really good because the sun is actually healing him up, And that's the best thing about Florida, man. Not the stupid medical people, the sunshine. But in other words, you don't need anybody. You don't need anybody. We don't need this guy signing into any kind of law, anything. And, I'm not really a big fan of Vlad. But compared to our guys over here, he looks pretty good. That's how bad our guys are. I know Vlad is a dictator. But, he's got more of a brain than, he's got, I take Vlad over Pelosi, Clinton, Chuck Schumer, Rick Scott, Bubbles Rubio, Bush. A lot of Republicans and Democrats. Bloomberg, Dianne Feinstein, Maxine Waters, whatever the name is, the one with the funny wig. Vlad is a much better guy than many politicians that are here in the United States. Not that I'm really a fan of Vlad, because I know he's a dictator, But I would have loved to have seen Vlad with Hillary Clinton in a ring doing judo. How long she would have lasted. That would have been kind of cool. But, I'm not going to kiss Vlad's ass and say, oh, I love Vladimir Putin like these idiots out there. But it is my intention that the U.S. citizens and the Russian citizens get along very good. Because I think the United States and Russia ought to get together and rule the world, And get rid of all these liberal, fake conservative politicians out there, and I know the KGB is corrupt as all hell, but hey, Florida cops are not far behind. I'm telling you the truth. I mean, the law that Rick Scott signed into thing, it's like at the cop's discretion. If you are, boy, they can make up any story they want. They can confiscate all your stuff, all your guns and stuff, because the cop says, oh, I thought you, because they can make something up. They can make something up. It's their word. They're God. They're God on earth. I mean, I don't even think the Russians do this kind of stuff, for crying out loud, you know? Maybe the Chinese would. Anyway, America and Russia ought to get together. The hell with China. Anyway, but this Rick Scott has now pushed me. I was thinking about this before, and a lot of people say, no, you need to vote. I ain't voting. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not participating in anything with the government. Period. Done. Thank you, Rick Scott. And you know what? You know, something's going to happen to this nation, I think, because it's not like a religious prediction, but it's kind of like, maybe, I don't know, maybe you can call it karma, but it almost comes around and goes around, because it is karma when you say that. But, you know, it's like when you lose faith, you lose all the faith of the people, like nothing works. When nothing's got integrity, nothing's got honor, nothing's got any kind of sense of righteousness, you know, nobody cares. So anything you say, whatever, it's a bunch of hollow words. It doesn't mean anything. And, you know, that's why, you know, everybody's up each other's butts trying to climb that ladder to get some title or some bennies. That's usually what's going on in the professional world and in the professional business world, and also in the government. But when you got that kind of stuff, you lose all that American work ethic that we used to have, when people used to put in that hidden quality and do extra. Nobody does that no more. I used to do that stuff. Now, I do a lot of YouTube videos because I like trying to pump out some information sometimes on different things. But here I'm just kind of going off on a spiel. But, you know, I never liked this guy, Rick Scott, just from the angle of health. This guy's bad news. This guy, he got in his state because he wants his finger in the health racket. You know, the Department of Children and Families and all this garbage. And that's all connected to gun control, too. Because anybody can say anything about, oh, you have a psychosis, mental condition, blah, 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 whatever the hell it is. And then instantly, you're barred from buying a gun. Instantly. Which is at the discretion of some crazy psych, which most of them are. They really are. And that's another scam that's going on. Florida's big into that with the, what do you call it, the Baker Act, from Maxine Baker from South Florida originally. Boy, that is one of the most abused acts going. There's absolutely no Florida Constitution or American Constitution with that act. But, you know, with Rick Scott, now he's actually expanded that. You know, at the discretion of a police officer thinks that you're threatening. So, in other words, if you're home and you get in an argument with your wife, which, you know, every once in a while that's going to happen, what's going to happen? All somebody's got to do is call the cops, which you got loads of retirees out there that call the cops over everything. I had a retiree call the cops on me because I was riding a bicycle in an industrial park. And I was like, what are you doing? I was like, this is years ago. I was riding a bicycle in an industrial park, right? Bicycle, not a motorcycle, the kind you pedal for exercise. And some retarded retirees looking out the window from about 200 yards away, over their wall. So this person called the cops. And I was like, what are you doing here? I said, what are you doing? They reported a suspicious person riding a bicycle in the daytime, around 12, 1 o'clock. And I was like, I'm riding a bicycle for exercise. That's the kind of garbage that goes on. So you think, you know, you think that this is like, you know, it's like Gestapo state. That's what's going on. Florida's getting rapidly like California. And I think California and New Jersey are in competition with each other for who can do the dumbest things. So I'm not voting anymore. I'm done. And I think, you know, not that Vlad's going to save us, but let's say this. Vlad's going to be the Punisher. That's what I think's going to happen, man. I really do. And, you know, they're trying to get in a war with this guy. I don't know what they're doing, man. I mean, I'm not 100% sure what the elite are doing. But, boy, they really try to tweak this guy left and right. I know they are. And I put videos out. I was giving him, ragging on him all the time, too, in my videos. But, you know, I really don't dislike this guy. I don't like people that kiss his butt. And I don't like people that worship the ground he walks on, because I know he's not perfect. He's a dictator, for crying out loud. I know he's a dictator, but he's got a brain. He's reasonable, and you better obey what he says, because he is a dictator, or else you're dead meat. But, you know, otherwise, you're okay. You know what I mean? But, you know, as far as, like, what's going on in the United States, it's actually getting to be, you know, in other words, in Russia, you get in trouble for criticizing the government. In the United States, you get in trouble because somebody's got a financial incentive to get you in trouble so they can steal your stuff. See? I mean, over there in Russia, I don't even know they even have that, you know what I mean? Over there, they're like, just don't say nothing bad about Vlad, you might be okay, you know? And here, forget about it, man. This guy's the biggest medical crook going. You know, it's amazing. All you got to do is, like, you know, now, hey, you know what? I'm going to find out later on what you should do, possibly, to avoid. I'm throwing this on the end, even though it's way on the end. It's a long video. You know, I was thinking about doing this, and or having be good business for an attorney. What you do is you take every single weapon that you have, and you put it in an individual gun trust. You already got gun trusts for silencers and all this kind of crap. Just regular weapon. Put it in a gun trust. Now, I don't know if that's going to make it, you know, see, the trust owns the gun. Now, I don't know how that's going to work against this law, but maybe that might provide you some kind of protection. Imagine if you do something like that and it works. Then it's like, I don't own it. The trust owns it. You can't freaking take it away from the trust. See what I mean? It's another game you can play on these jackasses. It's an angle I don't think anybody thought of. It's my angle, okay? But I'm the devil, all right? So I don't believe in all this freaking Jesus gonna go save us. I think of, like, you know, you gotta freaking be very creative, and I don't know if that's gonna work. It might work, but every gun you got in a trust. Then when they go after something, they say, "Whoa, the cop said that you did this and that," and they made up a lie. Well, they can't do nothing. Well, hopefully they can't do nothing, because you got everything in each gun in this individual trust. And they got to go after each trust. Have fun. Well, maybe that might work, maybe that won't work. I don't know. But then again, I'm sure it would work for the Bushes, it would work for the Pence, it would work for one of those yo-yos, and it would definitely work for Rick Scott if he pulled some kind of garbage like that. But that's an idea, okay? So, I mean, it wouldn't work in Russia. Vlad would just say, "The hell with that trust." But I'm done voting, man. I'm done. I don't even want to waste my time going to this garbage anymore. Screw you, man. I don't recognize any of these politicians as worth anything. I don't care if they tell me stuff I want to hear or they don't want to hear. As far as I'm concerned, they're just getting paid to do nothing. I don't care what they do. They're done. And I don't know if YouTube's going to like this video or not. You probably have a little orange thing next to it, but I'm not going to even request a review on it, you know. So basically, if you want to listen to what I said, fine. But, you know, maybe that's, you know, actually, if nobody voted, you know, that wouldn't happen. But nobody voted, and everybody started throwing sand in the works of the government, you know, just calling them up and asking them questions about shit and giving them a hard time, and, you know, that would be the end of them. There'd be nothing left. Because we don't need them. We don't need these people. That's what burned me up about people supporting Trump so much. What the hell? I mean, say the guy was a saint and he was 100% perfect, which I know he's not, but I think he's way better than Hillary for sure. But say he was perfect. You're giving up all your power to say that you're going through the principle of centralized government, whereby a dictator's got to fix everything. That's what you're saying. We're sending Trump to D.C. to fix everything. How about you put a wall around D.C. and the hell with D.C., okay? That's where the wall belongs, not on Mexico border, around D.C. You know? That would fix it right there. Over and out.